Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Just kidding. I just always wanted to say that. But welcome to my very first YouTube video ever. I wanted to do this because I've been very open on Instagram about having had a natural birth. And so I got a lot of questions from other moms just about why I wanted to do that, and then also like my birth story and stuff like that. So I wanted to share with you guys. I'm going to do two separate videos. So I'm going to use this video to kind of share the why with you and just share like some research that I've done that kind of helped me make those decisions. Because I didn't want to make one long ass video. So I'm just gonna do the why in this one, and then I'll do another one that'll just be like my birth story. But before I do that, I just want to say, in no way do I think that if my baby was born via C-section or epidural, that it would have been less than, or that I would have been less than at all. And in no way do I judge other moms for making different decisions than I made. That's not what this video is about. It's really good practice, honestly, because I am preparing to become a doula. And so this is the kind of information that I want to share with people and educate people about. And I just want to talk about it and get it out there. And this was the best way for me to give birth specifically, not for everybody. And I understand that and I respect that. And I just don't want to offend anybody by saying what I'm about to say. And so I just wanted to, as a precursor, put that out there. So, yeah, and by natural, I really don't like the word natural birth, because I think that every birth is natural. Intervention free, rather, is how I should say it. But by natural, I mean just letting everything run its course on its own. So no induction, no pain medications during or after birth. Yeah. So the number one question, I did like one of those like ask me a question things about my birth story on Instagram. The number one question that I get asked is why? Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you want to do it naturally? Because it's like no secret that it fucking hurts to give birth. And I just kind of think the opposite. Why have interventions? I think that interventions are just unnecessary, where other people think that giving birth naturally is unnecessary. So I think the main thing is just the way that I view birth. I just have a different outlook on it than most people. I've known since I was like 12 that I wanted to have a natural birth, but I knew as soon as I found out I was pregnant that I had to do it naturally. Like, for me, like it's just something that I knew that I had to do and that I wanted to do. I just believe that I was designed for this, that I was created for this, I was made for this, like this is my destiny. Like, that's just how I feel about it. I think that my body knows what to do. I think my baby knows what to do. I think giving birth is one of the most primal and like ancient things ever. And I think it's beautiful. I think modern obstetrics has turned it into something that is dangerous and something to be afraid of. And I don't believe that's true at all. Like, I don't think giving birth is dangerous. Like, obviously there's a lot of things that can go wrong. It's not like I'm immune to being afraid of things going wrong, but I just think birth as a whole, it's not dangerous. I was created for this. We were created for this. And that might sound like sexist or whatever, like, you're a woman, you're made to give birth. But like, we were created for birth. I don't know if this is coming out right. But you get what I mean. I fully trust my body and I fully trust my baby. I don't believe babies are stupid. I think they're smarter than we are. And I think babies know how to be born as well. And so I just wanted to like give into the process. I think births should be intimate and calming. I think it should be the best experience of your life. And for a lot of women, it's the worst experience of their life. And I think that's really sad. And then I started kind of doing my own research, and what I found just kind of solidified for me that, yeah, I definitely need to do it naturally. Like, this is the best decision for me. And that research is coming right up. So number one, I did not want to be induced because I really couldn't find any benefits to being induced unless there is a medical emergency. Pitocin, which is the artificial version of oxytocin, which is the hormone your body would naturally secrete to send you into labor. Pitocin is the artificial version of that to send you into labor. I knew that if I chose to be induced, I would be giving up being able to give birth naturally. Maybe not 100%, but like for the most part, it's nearly impossible to give birth naturally without an epidural if you've been induced, because Pitocin creates, like I said, artificial contractions that are a lot more painful for the mom than just like regular contractions. And so I didn't want to do that because I didn't want an epidural. If you know you're definitely going to have an epidural, again, I guess it doesn't matter. But it also puts a lot more stress on the baby because those contractions are artificial. And usually when being induced, they will also break your water, which also makes the contractions more painful for a mom. So it's like Pitocin plus no waters. It's just like super extra painful. And the waters, your amniotic sac, which is the waters, actually provides a cushion for the baby during contractions, because what contractions are doing is squeezing baby, pushing baby down, and the water just creates a cushion for them, so it's just not as stressful. Without that cushion, they're just feeling a lot more pressure, they're getting a lot more stressed, and that increases the risk of fetal heart rate problems and increases your chance of a C-section, which some people want a C-section, that's fine. I didn't, so that was a risk that I didn't really like. Also, the due date is just an estimation. Every baby grows at a different rate, and so it's kind of hard to pinpoint the exact date of conception based on the size of your baby. So it can be up to like 2 weeks off. Usually not more than that, because it is pretty accurate. But so if you're going to be induced at 39 weeks and you're not actually 39 weeks and your body isn't ready to go into labor, your cervix is not going to have oxytocin receptors. So when they pump you full of Pitocin, it's not going to be effective, and your cervix is not going to dilate or efface. Like, there's going to be no progress. And so the doctor, after a certain amount of time in labor, will deem you FTP, failure to progress, and they will whisk you off into a C-section. So I didn't want to take that risk either, because I just didn't know exactly how far along I was. And I didn't want to be induced too early and have complications. Yeah. So yeah, that's why I didn't want to be induced. So I didn't want an epidural because, for a lot of reasons, and this is the part that people think I'm crazy for. First of all, it forces you to give birth on your back, which is the worst way in the history of ever to give birth, except for maybe upside down. I'm just so passionate about this. Like, giving birth on your back is just on your back is so bad. Gravity is not on your side when you're on your back. So it makes contractions a lot less effective, which in turn lengthens the time that you're in labor. Baby doesn't move down as fast. Your cervix doesn't dilate as fast. Just everything is slowed down. And, you know, longer labor times obviously increase the risk of fetal heart rate problems, complications, and you are 2.5 times more likely to have an unplanned cesarean section if you have an epidural. This is gonna suck. And laying on your back narrows your birth canal by 30%. So it makes it harder for the baby to come out. Also, they've got your legs hiked up where your knees are by your fucking eyeballs. And so your vagina is facing the ceiling. So your baby has to like crawl out of your vagina. It just doesn't make any sense. But anyway, so you have to push a lot harder and a lot longer, which increases the risk of hemorrhoids, which is not a life or death situation, but who wants hemorrhoids, right? Also, having your legs hiked up like that stretches out your perineum and also increases the risk for tearing. Also, when they coach you through pushing, they'll like, and you've probably seen this in movies, or if you're a mom yourself, like you've done this, they tell you to hold your breath, push for 10 seconds, take a break, blah, blah. And doing that restricts blood flow to your placenta and the other vital organs that are all kind of working together to get the baby out. So it's just not optimal. If you don't have an epidural, there's a thing called fetal ejection reflex, which is really, it's like taking a poo. Like honestly, your body just pushes for you. You just feel this urge and it just pushes for you naturally. It's not forced. You don't have to forcibly push like you see in the movies. You don't have to do that. So yeah, those are just a few reasons that I found that just kind of pushed me like more in the direction of having a natural birth. Not to say that if you are induced or have an epidural that complications are definitely going to happen. Like you can have a totally fine, completely smooth birth with all kinds of interventions. It just depends. So yeah, those are just a few reasons that just didn't make me want to change my mind about having a natural birth. I knew that's what I wanted to do. And then in doing my research, I just didn't find anything that made me want to change my mind. And those like few little facts just solidified for me that I was making the best decision for me. You know, we're made to believe that those things are there to help the mom and baby and make things easier, when in fact that's not true. It actually makes it harder for a mom and baby, which doesn't make any sense, because you would think, oh, if you have an epidural, it's going to be easy because you don't feel any pain. But that's not true. It actually makes labor harder. You just can't feel the pain, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but anyway. So yeah, I guess that concludes this video. Thanks for watching. If you didn't come here for a school lesson, I'm sorry. Stay tuned for the next one. You might like it a little better. And I'm really excited to like tell you guys about it. So stay tuned for that one. Thanks, guys.